Basically, I'm going to do a video of explaining the game a little bit. I guess we'll start with basic riding functions and some setting tweaks. Let's do a short track on single player. Let's do actually a time attack. And I really enjoy this track. It's a short one. It's called Tyrone track. Best time is just under a minute there. You can see in your top right of the screen. It's looks like almost 2 miles. Okay, so here you can choose your different classes. This is going to be the easiest one. They still rip pretty good, but their top speed's not the greatest. This is your Super Sport. These are all your 600cc class bikes. And they got the Kawasaki's, the Triumphs, the Hondas, I almost said Honda Civic, but the CBR 600s, the Yamahas, I guess just that's pretty much it. There's different, but anyways, here's the super bikes. It also explains your torque and your engine horsepower and stuff like that on the right there. And you can switch there's different different years and different models and different racers that you can select. But I like to go with the ZX10R, or there's also a Norton and a BMW. This BMW is really nice. Peter Hickman's also got as far as I know, still at the time of the recording of this video, has the best lap time ever on the Isle of Man. So I'm actually going to probably select this one. This is what I usually use. And then I'm going to go through a couple of the things that you can change. Okay, so first off, I have this set for a manual transmission. So A on the Xbox keypad would be a downshift or a shift to first or whatever. And then on a PlayStation controller, I don't recommend playing this with a mouse and keyboard. You just won't have fun. On a PlayStation controller, it'll be X for shifting to first, and then triangle to shift back down. On the Xbox controller, it's A and Y. So right trigger is I obviously wouldn't use a controller that isn't either like one of the brand name ones, because you're going to want a variable trigger and not just on off, because the throttle goes accordingly. So the left toggle on either controller will give you your lean. These arrows and X's will kind of describe how you should be hitting these corners and what speed. Like if the X's are up, you need to slow down. And the path is a pretty good path for making sure you make it through the turn and follow-up turn after you make it around the corner. And sometimes you can get away with going a little faster than this recommends, and I typically try. So you can also switch this to a automatic transmission, but that makes it, the left trigger is braking, and that makes it so that you have to rely on that a lot more. I actually rely on downshifting a lot more than using the left brake. So the other thing that you can change, let me finish up this lap here. Okay, that was actually a pretty damn good time. So the other thing you can change by using your D-pad is your view. This is inside the helmet view. Just the same view without the helmet. I guess you'd call this the windshield view. Nothing at all, just probably right in front of the front tire. This is pretty useful if you're having issues with torque and causing wheelies and stuff like that. So you can see it pick up right away. But I don't know if I'd ever race like that. And then of course the third person view. which is kind of nice for seeing more down the track. If you're having an issue in the helmet view, which I usually do, I switch to this view. And then I like to use the first person view for the tight corners. You can use your right stick to kind of look around, but I like to use this for knowing when I make it through a corner that I'm facing the right way, because in third person view, you can make it through a corner and not know what direction your bike is exactly facing. That could cost you some time on a lap. I'll show you where in the options menu that you can adjust stuff like that. But also, as you can see here, there's a lot more stuff that you can customize. Your ABS, so that's to keep you from skidding out of control while you're stopping. Traction control is to keep it from peeling out while you're taking off. Your wheelie control is pretty self-explanatory. If you hammer on the throttle in first, a lot of these bikes will just flip over. Stoppie control is for when you're slamming on your front brake, so you don't go, flip the whole bike over. I don't even know what this one does, to be honest with you. Brake method, you can select having separate buttons for your front and rear brakes. I like to play with combined. Obviously, you can switch to an automatic transmission here, and your vibration level. This is where you can do your key bindings. So this is kind of interesting also. This is something that you change on your D-pad. So when I'm switching through the different views, that's what's happening. But this is a cool thing. When you're in the helmet view, this will, if you select anticipated, when you get to the corner, let me demonstrate. I really like this feature. Oops. Damn it. This will look the direction that the turn is about to be. So without me doing this, I need a sharper corner to demonstrate. Up here, watch, this helmet just turns slightly to the right to let you know, hey, you're about to hit a hard right. And that's pretty useful because when you're playing in first person view, oh shit, you're a lot lower to the ground and you can't see as much of the arrows coming up ahead as you can in third person view. It's like the main setback of playing in first person is you can't see as much of the arrows. Let's see what else I can tell you about this. I think that's it for the menus. So let's go back to the main menu and talk about different gameplay. So you hit single player, and you can either do a quick race, which is irrelevant to your career. It's just so you can go get the feel of what a track is like on Isle of Man, United Kingdom, or Ireland. There's lots of different races that you can pick between and change the settings between each one. Number of laps, time of day, weather, temperature, opponents, and starting position, and difficulty. Difficulty is pretty much just how fast your other guys are going to do. Here's a couple of different maps that are available to us. And then this one is just the main race that the game is named after, the Tourist Trophy Isle of Man TT races. And then the different gameplay options, you can free roam, which is basically dick around and you won't have the arrows on the screen. And then the time attack is you do a lap, and then you have your little ghost guy that was you on the last lap, and you're going to try to beat that time over and over again. And then career, I haven't spent a lot of time in career, but here's the different bikes that I own. Let me see, Superbike. I only own a Superbike and I think 2 Super Sports. Maybe 3. And, oh, I forgot. You can also, by hitting X, go through your different parts that you unlock throughout your career. There's a money system up there, and the points and your signatures, and you can get perks.
You can manage your perks from this menu.
If you decide to use a perk, it's only available to you for that race. And a lot of them are based off of you just getting into the race, finishing without restarting. And that'll help you out with that. Here is your race calendar. So this is where you'd select what race you want to do next. This arrow here, let's see if my cursor will show up. Of course not. The arrow is, the top one will be your easiest, and then you can work your way down. Here's the shop. I got, looks like 2 Super Sports, the Honda CBR and the ZX6R, and a Super Sport, Super Bike. I unlocked and purchased this one.
This is where you can view the Irish Championship